All right.
Hello, everybody. I am back here with you with a guest of mine, Eileen March. I'm super, super excited to have her chat with you. We're actually trying to go live in the Facebook group, and it didn't work because Friday the 13th and all of the thing, right? Although I see it as good luck. By the way, if you guys are on my email list, you get today is a day of free coaching. You can ask me anything in the email, and I will record a video specifically on your question. So if you haven't done that already, pop in the chat here. We'll make sure that you get registered on the list so that you can ask me any questions today. But let's dive in with Eileen. Eileen, you've got some really cool stuff coming up, and I just wanted to, have you kind of share with our community of healers and coaches, what you do and what you've got coming up.
Yeah, thank you. I want to really thank you from the bottom of my heart for having me here today to speak. Your generosity is always just
Oh,
such so warm and welcoming. And yeah, I really, really appreciate it.
my
Um,
pleasure.
I think I'm on your email list twice, and I got that email about the free coaching questions twice today because I
Oh,
have two
sorry. We'll need
emails.
to pick the right email that you
No,
you
that's my
want.
bad. I'm just like, oh, I kind of like seeing it in two
You're
places.
like, oh, maybe I need some free coaching today.
Yeah, right. It's that extra reminder. Yeah, so I am much like many of the people in this community. I am an intuitive coach. I am an energy healer. I'm a slow living witch. So Friday the 13th is a beautiful day for me. It is the day of the goddess. In historically, we've got Friday associated with Venus, which is love, beauty, goddess, and
Mhm.
then 13, the number of moons in the year, the number of lunar cycles in our female bodies. And so traditionally, this was a very sacred day.
Mhm.
And the unlucky bit came later.
I know, right? I'm so glad that you're saying that because, this is just, synchronicity, right? Of being able to have you come in and kind of share a different perspective of Friday the 13th. And, what's it
Mhm.
really about? It was really
Mhm.
about honoring the feminine, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to let you share more because that's just about enough that I know to be dangerous and
Yeah.
sound like I know what I'm talking about, but I really don't.
It is, and there's so many things that we perceive, even the term witch, some of the
Mhm.
people watching might be like, what does that mean? And that kind of
Mhm.
fear reaction is again a very much patriarchal and
Mhm.
Christian in a lot of the places,
Mhm.
co-opting or trying to subvert or repress the worship of the feminine and the sacred
Mhm.
feminine
Mhm.
by the people who wanted to be in power. Really, it wasn't to
Mhm.
do with the Christian religion being bad.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
beauty there for
Yeah.
sure. I never
Yeah.
want to sound like I'm ragging on it.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was some old white dudes who were trying to be in power. This
Yeah, we
is
want
my
all they just want to keep all the money.
yeah, exactly. So
Not
it's
Jesus. It
actually
was the other white dudes.
yeah.
Let's be clear.
Yeah.
That wasn't
Yeah.
Jesus.
Was he even white? We don't know.
I know. I
Probably not.
know.
Um, history lessons aside, though, I this is really, really synchronous because we were supposed to chat yesterday. It didn't work, so here we are today, and we're talking about the feminine and how it has been placed second in our society for a really, really long time in order to control and keep us from being in our full power. And that is a lot of the work that I do with my clients and what my free offering next week is really all about. It's tied into is reclaiming our worth
Mhm.
and remembering our innate worthiness.
Mhm.
This is a topic that keeps coming up. I've been in conversation
Mhm.
with a bunch of women doing some research into what my people really need help with and really want. I work a lot around rest and nurturing ourselves.
Mhm.
And at the root of the struggle, it kept coming up like, what do you think is keeping you from actually resting, actually
Mhm.
going after your dreams 2 feet in the way you want to? And it just kept coming back to like, I don't actually feel worthy.
Mm. Yes. Oh my gosh. That is something that I see over and over and over again. And I think that sometimes they don't realize that it's rooted in worthiness because words,
Mhm.
I don't know if I can allow myself to receive, this, at least with the coaches that I work with, it gets stuck on, I've never received that much money before. Like, is my service really worth that somebody
Mm-hmm.
else making that investment, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it worthiness and unworthiness is I'm so glad that you called your event root, because it really is underlying so much of the reasons why we don't move forward in any area of our business or any area of our life.
Yeah, it's huge. And it's interesting because on the surface, so many of us, like cerebrally, we're like, yeah, I know I'm worthy.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's different. It's one thing to think it, and it's a
Hmm.
very different thing to embody it. And
Yeah.
so, a lot of what next week will be about, they'll be learning, we'll be talking about kind of the
Hmm.
root of
Hmm.
this
Hmm.
unworthiness
Hmm.
feeling that so many of us have, where it comes from, because understanding is the first step.
Hmm.
And then each day, it's a 4-day free offering, and each day will be dropping into guided journeying. And so this is
Oh.
part of kind of what I call my magic. I
Hmm.
don't know where we're going to go exactly in these
Hmm.
guided journeys. I have an overarching idea,
Hmm.
and then I just let myself be guided to
Hmm.
guide the participants to get deep and internal and into the energetics of it, to try to
Hmm.
start to unravel that unworthiness at its root and
Hmm.
step back into that innate worth that each of us come to this planet with.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I remember, I think it was Chad Helmstetter, um, old, I'm probably dating myself, but he really talks about, you know, the worthiness, an analogy that he uses is like, when babies are born, like if you were to go into the hospital, I actually home birth, but if you were to go into the hospital and see all of the babies, nobody had like a magic wand going, well, you've got the blue booty, so you're worthy. But you've got the pink booties, but so you're not. And you've got the yellow booty, so you're going to be homeless. And you've got the green booty, so you're going to be rich, right? It wasn't like that doesn't happen. Like we are all born worthy. Every
Mhm.
single one of us is born worthy of whatever it is that we want. And that's non-negotiable. I love Brene Brown talking about, I will chat with you about anything, but my worthiness is non-negotiable. I will not talk to you
Yes.
about my worthiness. It's so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And it's something that I love that the cultural conversation is shifting and opening. People like Brene have made it that we can access these topics in a
Mhm,
little bit more of an open
mhm,
light. And it really, a lot of it comes into this. There's two layers that are going on, I find, with women especially. We've got the first layer, which is anybody who exists in capitalism has
mhm.
this layer of you are only as worthy as your output, your
Yeah, yeah.
productivity.
Yep, yep.
And then women get the added layer of you're only as worthy as you are valuable and in service to others.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, that's a very tricksy one, especially for those of us in the service industry, because we
Hmm.
do enjoy serving and nurturing.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm,
and there's nothing wrong with that and
mhm,
from being filled up by it. And it leads into this place where many of us overgive
mhm,
and burn ourselves out and
yep,
don't give ourselves the tenderness that we give others. We
mhm,
have that, the mother martyr kind of archetype that runs
yep,
very strongly in our culture, whether or not you're a biological mother, it's
mhm,
there. Like
mhm,
the more tired and more selfless you are, the more worthy and honorable you are. And
mm,
that narrative is so harmful to our
mhm.
health and our
Yeah.
ability to take care of ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh. And you're right, regardless of whether you're a mother or not, we still have this, innate, I think, especially for women, as mothers, that comes with, that desire to
Mhm.
nurture in whatever,
Mhm.
even if we don't have our own children, we've got pets or we've got friends or we've got, extended family to want to nurture. Um, and yet, I definitely see more on the masculine part. It's not, they don't seem to struggle with that, right? My
Yeah.
husband doesn't struggle with whether he's worthy or not. He's just
Yeah.
like, I'm just going to do the thing. And if someone likes it, great. And if they don't, I don't really give a crap. And I'm like, yeah, like they don't ever like ask permission, right, to do something.
Mhm.
Can
Mhm.
I invest in my business? Can I invest in myself? Like they want something, they go
Mhm.
do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard an amazing spoken word poem yesterday about shrinking women. And she was speaking about food a little bit and what's been passed down, but she also
Mm-hmm.
spoke to being in a class in university and asking 5 questions, each of them beginning with sorry.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, I was weeping by the end of it, like
oh
full
my
body
gosh.
chills and weeping. But
Right? But it's true.
it's so true. And that's why I was crying because,
Yeah.
like, yeah, we've been taught that we should be quiet and that if we're challenging the status quo, we should be apologetic. And
Yeah.
like this
Yeah.
loss of innate worth is
Yes.
it's pervasive and I'm here to change it.
Oh my gosh, I am right there behind you. I'm going to be your biggest fan and cheerleader. I want as many people as possible to, come see you, step into your world, learn about this because this is so, so critical to not only coaches and healers in order, because here's one thing that I know when I step more fully into my worthiness, I can be a model for others stepping into their
Yes.
worthiness and I can support them more. So the work that we do internally is naturally going to cascade into the lives of those that we serve too. And
Yeah.
it's such a powerful place to be, and it's just so so critical, especially in this time. I remember, gosh, this was definitely like, let's see, my oldest son is 26 now, so it's probably 20 years ago. And I remember one of my friends modeled this so beautifully for me, and it like still sticks with me to this day because I needed to have her model this for me. And we were trying to set up a play day, and I'm like, well, could you do this day? And I was expecting her to say, sure, let me just move things around and we'll make it work. Right. And
Hmm.
she's like, you know what? That's not going to work for me. And I was like, really? Like, you can say that? You can
Yeah.
actually say, no, that's not going to work for me, but let's find another time. And that
Hmm.
was just such an eye opener for me that I was like, "Oh, I don't have to make things work for other people. Like, it really is okay for me to say, you know what? Thank you so much for asking. I really appreciate the invitation with no sorries, right? No
Hmm.
sorries. We don't have to say,
Hmm.
sorry, I can't. We can just say, thank you. And
Yeah.
that's not going to work for me right now.
Hmm.
Let's either look at something else or circle back around and ask me another time,
Yeah, those
right?
boundaries, right?
Hmm.
Around our time, our energy, all of that. So many of us don't have them or don't
Yes.
have very good ones or feel immense guilt when we start to
Hmm.
practice them, which makes it
Hmm.
scary and hard to do.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even today, I notice even in my own relationships, I can be working on something important on my business, and my husband will ask for my attention. And while I say, let me finish what I'm working on first, there's still a little like, I should have like just, right, like,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's okay for me to finish what I'm working on. I don't have to be available at everybody's beck and call. Same thing when
Mhm.
my kids were saying, hey, mom, can you help me with? I'm like, absolutely. And I need to finish what I'm doing. When I get to a stopping point, happy to help and support you. Right.
Mhm.
Instead of like putting our, everything on the back burner.
Yeah, yeah, I noticed that, especially with working from home. That's such a
Hmm.
common thing that
Yeah.
whoever's in the house with us just bounce down and be like, "Hey, I want your attention for this now." And it's
Yeah.
like I might be in the middle of
Yes.
creating, writing something,
Exactly.
and it's
Exactly.
the whole focus is like, "Oh, then if I don't attend immediately, there is that pull of guilt that
Hmm.
happens." Even obviously, I'm teaching this because I need it too.
Oh,
You
oh,
know?
absolutely. For sure. I work on this,
Mm.
all the time too.
Yeah.
Even when, I could be like responding to somebody's message and he's sitting next to me, ask me a question, but I'm in my head trying to answer the message. And I'm like, hold on, like, let me finish and then, right. It's like,
Hmm.
I need to like finish this and then I can give my attention to you because if I give my attention to you, I'm going to forget about what I'm in the middle of trying to say and communicate with. I mean, that's just
Yeah.
such a small example, but it's the way that it's kind of pervasive
Yeah,
in our
present.
culture. Yeah.
Yeah, it feels it's almost it seems like it should just be like inane almost, but it's not. It's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
It's just these
Yeah.
little energy drains at
Yeah.
the end of the day,
Yeah.
often
Yeah.
where we're just giving away little bits of our power.
Mhm.
This is the third journey, week-long free journey that I've offered. I offer them seasonally because part of
Mhm.
my way of moving in the world is to move in time with the seasons and honor those. And the first journey in the spring was about stepping into our power. And
Mhm.
then we were stepping into authenticity in the summer. And now that we're turning inwards, winter rooting down, right? The growth above ground is
Mhm.
stopping, but the roots still grow. We're turning to that worthiness, which really does, when I landed on it a few weeks ago as the topic for this one, was just, it really resonated like, oh,
Yeah,
yeah, because
yeah,
this is at the root of the matter.
absolutely. I love how, yeah, I was curious as to why you called it root, and now it makes so much sense. So much
Mhm.
sense. Oh, this is so
Yeah,
good.
it
So
dropped in.
yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So everybody here that's watching this replay, we're going to post the link or the link. If you're watching the replay, the link is posted. So go check out the comments and go join. I have already registered. So I've got it on my
Mhm.
calendar. It's next week, right? Next Thursday,
Yeah, yeah. The 16th, well, it's 4 days.
4
They'll
days.
all be
Okay.
recorded, of course, if you can't attend
Hmm.
live. Each day runs about 45 minutes. I try to keep it under an
Hmm.
hour just for
Hmm.
people's time. And from the Monday, so the 16th through the 19th.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
So go register, grab the link, go register. I'm going to be there. And even if you can't make it live for all of the days, I know Eileen, she'll send the replays out in your email, but you do need to be
Mhm.
registered. And, this is just kind of a little tip for those of you, in my world. When you register, it allows us to make sure that the people who want the replays are getting the replays and not all of our
Yeah.
guests. So we don't,
Yeah.
spam people that don't want it. So if you
Exactly.
want the replay, please register, and that way we can make sure to send those replays out and have them accessible for you
Yeah.
to get. Mhm.
Yeah. And there's incentive for being live and watching the replays. I never like to penalize people who the time it doesn't work. So if you
Yeah.
attend live or if you let me know you've watched the replay, everybody will be entered to win a soul council session with me, which is
Ooh.
we drop in to a guided journey to call a council of your soul guides, your spirit guides, the beings who are here to support you on this earth, and then you get to ask them a question. And so that's a
Oh.
really special process, but that
Oh
just
my gosh,
helps.
I
I
want
know.
that. I want that. Is that like a normal part of your offers? I'm just curious. I'm like, I want
It's
that.
on that's available at all times. You can go to my website and just grab one
Oh
at any
yeah.
time. Yeah.
Amazing.
And then yeah, I like to offer it because I know that replays in my inbox is where my replays go to die. And so
I
if I
know,
don't
right?
have
It's so
incentive,
true. It
it's difficult.
it is. It is. So, one thing that I try to do is if it's not on my calendar, it's not going to happen, right? So
Mhm.
definitely, get it on your calendar. And then the other thing that I noticed, especially with replays, is that I have to also create time in my calendar to watch it. Otherwise,
Yes.
it's like just a DIY course, right? So
Yeah.
many, I'm
How many of
I've
those do
got
we all have
several
in our
DIY courses that are
inboxes?
on my website and I haven't gone into the portal or even watched it. And I'm like, why do we do that? Right. So if we don't
Hmm.
have it scheduled and blocked out, it's not going to happen. Life just gets in the
Hmm.
way, and we all are well intentioned. We're all like, yes, I really want to watch it. And then before we know, it's like, yeah, it's over and we don't have access to the replays anymore or, whatever. So, that's
Yeah.
definitely something for just that I want to, encourage everybody to do is, block it out on your calendar because you are worth that time, right?
Yes.
Bringing it back to worthiness. You are worth putting that time on the calendar for you to dive into something that's important to you, whether it's, watching Elaine with these replays, whether it's joining me the following week for Where to Find Paying Clients in Any Economy. We
Hmm.
are all, uh, time managers, right? We don't let time actually control us. When we are in control of our time and we can block out the things that are most important to us on our calendar, it actually is more likely to happen than
Yeah.
just saying, I'll get around to it when I have some free time, which is, I don't know anybody who's like, oh, yeah, I've got like all the time in the world.
Exactly.
Right.
It doesn't tend to happen.
Yeah.
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 Is there anything else that you want to share about Root? Or about
Mm,
Friday the 13th or about the season that we're moving into, stepping out of the hustle of summer.
yeah. Yeah, I think that I love that I mean, obviously the timing is intentional on my part, but part of
Hmm.
the timing of taking some time, which is so
Hmm.
precious for yourself this week as we move into autumn with the autumn equinox on
Hmm.
Friday next week, or the equinox itself is on like early morning on Sunday or late
Hmm.
night on Saturday, is that we're moving into the season, plural seasons, that our society doesn't value as highly.
Hmm.
The energetically, the season of autumn and winter are not seasons that we acknowledge as being necessary. We are
Hmm.
in kind of a perpetual spring,
Yep.
summer,
Yep.
plant harvest. And we really, to be, I don't know, to feel well in our
Hmm.
bodies and our society, we need
Yes.
that autumn, right? We need
Yes.
to turn inward. We need to shed what's not working. We need to get calm and still, and then over winter we need to rest. And so
Yep.
this is kind of like a lovely portal into that energy of
Hmm.
the autumn, rooting down, turning in, getting still, and being in circle with other women doing it. I saw
Yes.
something yesterday saying that women who gather with other women live longer. So
I
come
totally
come
agree.
gather with us.
Yes, yes. And I just want to speak to what it is that you just shared about being in the constant cycle of plant and harvest, plant and harvest, plant and harvest. That is not a sustainable way for us to build and grow our businesses. It's one of the reasons why I actually created, Activate Abundance Academy, that and also our retreats. It's called our Soulful Abundance Retreat, so that you have time and spaciousness to be, to
Mhm.
rest, to dream, to think, to walk, to pray, to be in nature. Those are actually the times when I have gotten the best ideas for my business, for my life, for an idea that I've brought to fruition. And without that time, without that season, I wouldn't be able to plant and harvest as effectively as I can, right? Because then we get
Yeah.
burnt out and we get depleted and then we feel like burning it all down.
Mhm.
So I am just so excited and reminded again of kind of, the importance of rest. I talk about rest being actually a revenue generating activity because when we
Yeah.
rest, we get those ideas, we get those divine downloads, we get to be nourished, we get to fill our cup back up again, right? So that then we have
Mhm.
the energy to come back and plant and harvest.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that you're speaking into this. I think it needs to be part of not just life, but it really needs to be a part of the way people build and grow their businesses too, because businesses
Mhm.
have seasons as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and they may not mirror the external seasons, but
Yeah,
they still
exactly.
have, we
Yeah,
need to acknowledge each of those seasons as they come in our
absolutely.
business and plan
Yes.
for them, really
Oh,
integrate them into the planning.
yes. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You are speaking my language. Absolutely. I mean, I actually do this every single month. The last week of the month is off, and when I say off,
Mhm.
I mean it's time for me to dream, to put my visionary hat on, to go away if I want to
Mhm.
go on vacation, to go away on retreat, to be in creation mode if I feel like I just, have that creative energy. But I don't do any forward focusing,
Mhm.
outreach or anything like that. And that is one of the things that has really served me well over the years, as well as my clients, to be able to have that. I call it our integration week. It
Mhm.
allows
It's
us.
winter.
Great. Yes, it is. It is. That's exactly what it is. We plan a winter into our months. And then every season, every quarter, I go away for like a 3-day retreat so that I can step away, from my family, step away from the regular environment, create a state change to be in nature and to be someplace
Mhm.
else where again I can just read or nap or be nurtured and really, nurture the leader that I am,
Yeah.
and it's just so powerful.
It really is. And it's such a beautiful example of having somebody doing that. And because it's hard to do, it's
Yeah,
hard to do and not
yeah,
feel like we should
yeah,
be doing something
yeah.
else.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
It is hard to do. I know every time I step away, I'm so grateful for the retreat center that I go because their Wi-Fi is terrible, and they encourage
Oh,
you
love
not
it.
to use any Wi-Fi, and I'm
Yeah.
like, if I wanna make a phone call, I have to, like, walk up this hill to the top of the parking lot to, like, "All right, I'm here, family. I will see you when I get home on Sunday," and
Yeah.
that's it. So, Yeah, it's just so,
Beautiful.
it's such, a great place to give yourself permission to unplug from the outer and replug in to the,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
Ugh.
Yes,
I'm
I could talk.
excited. We could talk
I
for hours.
seriously could talk. I know. I'm like, "Ah, I'm so glad I'm going to see you in Chicago, right? In October,
I am not able to
maybe?
make it,
Oh,
unfortunately. And I mean,
no. Okay.
we'll see. A miracle could happen,
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
unlikely at this point. But there'll be future gatherings that I make it to.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Cool. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Eileen, share again the dates and the time and yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So Root, which is a guided journey to step into your worth, runs from September 16th through 19th, so Monday through Thursday at noon Mountain Standard Time. So that'll
Okay.
be 2 p.m. Eastern or 11 a.m. Pacific, and
Amazing.
for about 45 minutes each day, recorded, of course, delivered to your inbox same day so that you can schedule in an evening watch if the daytime
Hmm.
doesn't work for you.
Hmm. Fantastic. Eileen, thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are here. All right,
Thank
everybody, go
you.
click that link. Join me. I will be there. I might not be live all of the days, but I definitely am going to be making time to watch this because we are stepping into a slower time period. This is a perfect opportunity to, if this is resonating with you, to step into this space with Eileen and to be guided through it. So I'm so excited. All right,
Me
everybody,
too.
have a great day. Bye.